I'm your host, Greg Hicks, along with head coach Tanner Glisson. And we'll be talking about, we're going to be covering last Friday night's game up in Douglasville at Chapel Hill High School. And, man, what an exciting game, especially, down toward the second half. But we'll get into more of all the things that went on during that game. But, wow, first of all, we appreciate Kiev LaGrange. They've got a really nice let me tell you about it. It's a Telluride. I think Jack said something about you won't slip and slide with the Telluride. I said it's coming out just in time for all the snow we're going to have this winter, right? Don't we need a lot of snow? Yes, we do. But anyway, we'll get Todd Parrish on the phone here in a little while, and we'll talk about that new vehicle that's built solely here in West Point, Georgia. But Coach, sitting here with Coach Glisson, Friday night we went to Chapel Hill, and a lot of people, they over the last 4 or 5 years, that's one of those teams that's kind of on the bubble as to whether they're good or they can be better. And this was one of those years that they're better than they've been.
Well, I thought this was their best football team, and I don't know about you, but when we lined up for the first series, I looked across, I looked at our team, and I looked at their team, and I was like, uh-oh. And I think that's the first time in a long time that I've looked across and thought, these guys look better than our guys.
Wow.
I mean, the offensive line, the linebackers, the kid going to Oregon looked really good. Reminded me of Keem Makuta.
Big dude.
Oh,
he was a big cat, yeah.
And so it was a big concern. Mm-hmm. And they have a really good football team. They were, 3-1 going into that game. Mm-hmm. They had lost to Ola, who has a really good record in 5A. Mm-hmm. And but, it was a dogfight. And those guys are very well coached. And, I think that was the best Chapel Hill team that we have played. Fortunately, we haven't lost to them yet. Mm-hmm. And but that was a dogfight.
Yeah. Well, it certainly – at halftime it was one of the things, but when toward the end of the game, when we were up a touchdown, but it kind of got scary there for a little bit.
It did. We looked out there, when things go bad on the kickoff team, they go bad.
Right.
And we had a situation where we had the game what we thought was in control. We pooched a kick. Ball was up for grabs for anybody, and we tipped it all the way back to the guy who won the 100 meters in the track in Quad A, and he takes it to the house. And but we look out there. Jace Godwin got hurt early, was out for the game.
Right.
Royce White got hurt, was out for the game.
Right.
We looked out there on defense, and we had 3 sophomores and 1 freshman in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And that's not really good.
Yeah.
And so we just had to fight. But lucky for us, our guys know how to win.
Yeah.
And they fought, and that was a good thing.
Well, you're right. And I looked at you talking about that it was a high kick. I don't know if it was planned, like an onside type.
It was planned. It was a mortar kick that we tried to get in between the wedge.
Right.
And hopefully it hit. We got a hand on it, and we tipped it, but we tipped it all the way back to the back guy.
And it from our vantage point, Jack and I are on top of the press box, and you could just see it. It's like they didn't plan on it, but the wall just formed, and
it got in the wrong guy's hands. I mean, that guy's a 4'4" guy, and when he got it, and we overcommitted once we saw the ball moving around, and the rest is history. And so that kind of kept them in the game. If we get that ball, I think we kind of have a little bit of breathing room.
I think
but, hats off to them. They played really, really good, and they've got a good football team.
Well, they do, and they'll be around for sure. There'll probably be a postseason for sure. Hey, listen, you are listening to the Troup High Coaches Show live from Your Pie Pizza on Eagle Sports. We'll be right back.
State Farm, Kathy here.
Hey, it's Mike. My team just pulled off the biggest upset ever.
Nice, Mike.
And some fans are getting crazy. They even flipped over a car.
Whoa.
Turns out it's my car, though.
Oh.
But I don't want to be upset right now. I want to know State Farm's going to take care of this, right?
We got you covered, Mike.
Yes! Woo!
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Your State Farm agent is Matt Orr on the square in downtown LaGrange.
Don't you buy got no ugly shirt now. Mm-hmm.
That's right. To get a good-looking shirt is now a lot easier at Mud Creek Graphics. The creek has risen to downtown LaGrange at 211 Greenville Street. Mud Creek Graphics location is perfect for you to come in and pick out your good-looking shirt and have them custom printed. So go with the flow and come visit us at Mud Creek Graphics, 211 Greenville Street in LaGrange. Remember to like us on the Book of Faces, that's Facebook, at Mud Creek Graphics.
An injury can be a game changer. That's why Houston physicians are on the sidelines providing immediate care to athletes after an injury. Houston physicians have been on the sidelines of football games since Dr. Houston started the tradition 60 years ago with the Auburn Tigers. The Houston Sports Medicine team provides high school pre-participation physicals, sideline coverage, and Saturday morning injury clinics at the Jack Houston Memorial Hospital during football season. An injury can be a game changer, and immediate evaluation care can be a game changer too. Contact the LaGrange Houston Clinic at 706-884-3274.
Hi, football fans. This is Jonathan Moosemeyer from Glenn Smith in Opelika. We are happy to be a sponsor of high school football. We believe that high school athletics builds character among young people, and we are honored to lend our support. This is a great area to live, play, work, worship, and retire. In our 27th year, we are your Chevrolet Buick and GMC dealer with over 600 new and used vehicles every day. Online at glennsmith.com. Glenn Smith Chevrolet Buick GMC. Get ready to smile.
Now back to the Kia of LaGrange Coaches Show, live at Your Pie LaGrange.
Welcome back to Your Pie Pizza. You're listening to Troup High Football on Eagle Sports. We're here sponsored by Kia of LaGrange. We appreciate everybody coming out. Good crowd here tonight. If you're looking for an affordable place to eat and something that's just the right size, as I was telling David and Renee Kelly and Rodney Costley a while ago, some of the biggest Troup fans around, I tell you what, I said, if it was any bigger pizza, I'd be eating it all. So good that they've designed it perfect for size for me.
David and Rodney have already eaten theirs now. It didn't take them long.
No, yeah, but I tell you what I think the Kellys had a panini this time, so it was, I normally get the pizza, but yeah, so they've got, I saw somebody getting a little lasagna, I think it was a little lasagna plate in there, so you guys come on out, and it's very affordable. And the atmosphere out here on what we call the veranda or the deck area,
it's nice.
It's really, really nice. And give it another 3 or 4 weeks, and you might even be a little jacket weather.
Hey, we 3 or 4 weeks. It seems like 3 or 4 months the way this thing's going.
I'm telling you.
Man, we needed to cool off.
Well, speaking of cooling off, you and I were. I wanted to run this by you. We looked at the last couple of weeks. It looks like it's taken us a little bit longer to get into the rhythm offensively, anyway. And Friday night I look up and I happen to be down on the sidelines, and I look up and I see Nick Schweitzer in at quarterback, and it looked as though we were kind of trying to find ourselves again. And all of a sudden Nick comes in, and he engineered a drive, and it really was sharp, and the players seemed to respond to his pocket passing, and then he did a couple of read options, looked real well, and eventually took it about 18 yards, I believe, just hard-nosing. He can't be bigger in a minute. But he just slammed it into the end zone, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was our first score.
Yeah, it was. And, we've been behind in every single football game we've played. So we've played 5 games. We're at the halfway point, and we've been behind in every single one of them.
Right.
And Kobe Hudson is just having a little bit of a hard time adjusting without the guys he had last year. Mm-hmm. The guys we had last year with Joko Willis, with Jamar Thrash, and those guys – and he's putting a lot of pressure on himself.
Yeah.
And so we elected to go with Nick Schweitzer there for 2 series. Mm-hmm. And not that we lost confidence in Kobe or anything. But Nick came in and ran the offense and did some good things. And, we talked about it in our staff meeting. Think about the times that we've looked really good this year. If you count the spring game as being part of this year, when Kobe was at receiver and Nick was at quarterback, we looked pretty good.
Looked pretty good against them.
And so at that point we were just trying to grasp for straws, and so we'll kind of see where that leaves us.
Well, and I was explaining to somebody earlier today, being a former offensive lineman and the linebacker, but when you're playing offensive line and you got a guy like Schweitzer back there, and he's going to be more of a pocket guy, and then you've got a guy that's like Kobe that he's going to look bolt. then you're blocking. Your focus is a little different. It from an offensive lineman standpoint.
The deal is we're very talented, but we probably put the cart in front of the horse with our experience. We've got 7 new guys on offense. That breaking in a new offensive line.
That's true.
Now we're halfway through the season, so it's not an excuse anymore. But the receiving core is almost totally new.
Yeah.
With Mark Anthony still out there. Defensively, we looked up, like I said, in the fourth quarter, when you got 3 sophomores and a freshman on the field.
Yeah.
The whole secondary is new. With Jace Godwin being hurt, everybody back there is new.
Yeah.
And
well, you got Sir Morgan. It's a junior, but this is really his first year.
It's his first year really playing.
And then you
got a
Cullum,
freshman, with AJ Tucker and linebacker.
Yeah.
Isaiah Cox is playing nose guard, but he had never played football until this year.
True.
And so,
he's a big boy. And then you got Cullum Irvin in the safety, but he's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore, and the deal is the expectations are going to be there. That's just who we are now.
Yeah.
And that's actually helped. That's probably helped us win some games.
To step up a
probably
little
helped us win the Harris County game, and probably helped us win the Chapel Hill
game.
Just the fact that we know how to win.
Yeah.
And those games could have went either way. And so, but it's some young guys that are just cutting their teeth, and it's good for the future. But we need them to hurry up, and grow up pretty fast.
This kind of region. You sometimes you wish, man, I wish I was in a little bit lesser competitive.
It's not for the weak at heart. I
No, I know. But bottom line is, it's good to be in this region when you got the Sandy Creeks, and we'll talk about it a little bit. You got the Cartersvilles.
And I think that prepared us last year to go to a Cairo and win on the road in a quarterfinal
in a hostile environment.
Very hostile.
Yeah.
So those games, the Callaway game, the region we play in. I looked at it the other night, and there's 5 or 6. So just think about this. Out of 10 teams, 6 of them may have winning records that we played this year. And that's really, really good. So that prepares us for down the road.
Well, it does. But you're right. We talk about, you go back on the defensive line, you've got Jeremiah Holston coming back. You've got Devin Hill. You've got, I'm thinking Jordan Adams.
Yeah.
You've got
Xavier Clark,
which Xavier's not that big, but he's so fast, and really he's playing like an outside linebacker, defensive end for you.
Yeah.
And then you've got Andy
he's
Boykin.
a first year starter.
And you got Andy Boykin. And of course, needless to say, he just stands out head over heels because he's so large of a guy.
Yep.
And so, but then when you get past that, you get that second line in linebackers. You got the freshmen, and then the secondary is you just got to boy, let's go. We got a lot.
You know what? I felt like that we made tremendous strides defensively from the Callaway game to this game. I felt like really the defense went out and won the game Friday. We were in a situation where we weren't scoring a lot of points. Their defense was really good. We were kind of, had to go a different direction with Schweizer and Kobe. And our defense stepped up big, only giving up 14 points, and one of them was on a kickoff return. So you really gave up 7.
That's true.
And so I thought our defense, and there were a couple of big stops. The end of the game was a big stop.
Absolutely.
There was another one in the second quarter that was a big stop. So those guys are starting to grow up, and those coaches over there are coaching their tails off.
Yeah, they are. Speaking of coaching your tails off, we're going to take a break here. You're listening to the Troup High Coaches Show live from Your Pie Pizza, sponsored by Kia of LaGrange on Eagle Sports.
An injury can be a game changer. That's why Houston physicians are on the sidelines providing immediate care to athletes after an injury. Houston physicians have been on the sidelines of football games since Dr. Houston started the tradition 60 years ago with the Auburn Tigers. The Houston Sports Medicine team provides high school pre-participation physicals, sideline coverage, and Saturday morning injury clinics at the Jack Houston Memorial Hospital during football season. An injury can be a game changer, and immediate evaluation care can be a game changer too. Contact the LaGrange Houston Clinic at 706-884-3274.
The month of September has arrived, and our great deals at Nissan of LaGrange continue. Katie Cates here, and we are doing something special this month. The month of September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and we are going gold all month long. During September, Nissan of LaGrange will donate $50 for every car sold to the Rally Foundation. With cancer being the #1 disease killer of kids in America, we must do all we can. I encourage everyone to go gold this month and visit Nissan of LaGrange.
Here, sponsored by Kia of LaGrange. We're listening live to the Troup High Coaches Show. I'm your host, Greg Hicks, along with head coach Tanner Glisson. And we've got General Manager Todd Parrish on the line with us for Kia of LaGrange. And we're going to talk about that little new car they got out there. It's not much, is it, Todd?
I'm gonna tell you something. You talking about it took America by storm. Exactly what it did. That's called the Tell-You-Ride. The all new SUV Tell-You-Ride. It's a unbelievable vehicle. Technology is just surpasses everything that's out there, and we're fortunate to have something like that. Those folks right down there in West Point, Georgia, the Kia plant they did a phenomenal job on this SUV. Number one SUV in America right now, and if you guys will take a look at it right there, it's your pie. And I'll tell you something, Greg, we're lucky, man. We usually don't have any. This came in, and we've got a couple that just hit the ground. And, man, I was fortunate to be able to bring one up there so you guys can see it. And hopefully everybody that was around your pie this evening also got a chance to see it.
You know, and the first time I realized as you were talking about that, the first time any of America saw it was actually during the Super Bowl this past year. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Going through that big old water hole.
The one they had Super Bowl was also the one that looks like out. It's moss green in color with the black wheels.
Right.
And the black wheels pretty much is the statement that it's the SX model and also the SX Prestige model. So anytime you
Georgia Residential Mortgage Licensee number 5656.
Isn't life crazy? One day your fender gets dented by a runaway shopping cart. The next day, your kid's college entrance exam is a runaway success.
Yes, I got accepted.
But that's life. Some days you're the bug, some days you're the windshield. No worries, your State Farm agent is here in all of life's moments, the good and the not so good, to help life go right. So good day, bad day, any day, let's talk.
State Farm agent Matt Orr on the square in downtown LaGrange.